Nations. Welcome to another program, Eagle and Condor. This is Tony Gonzalez, your host today, Sunday, and my relatives. We're going to break away from the series of videos that I've been showing you of the UN Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues, the last series being the 8th. And we're going to go into a special video today to honor our good friend, Elder Wounded Knee DeOcampo. That's Norman, a.k.a. Wounded Knee DeOcampo. He passed away this last October 7th, 2024. And my relatives, it's a loss to the community. And I wanted to share a special video, 2012 at the Baha'i Center in San Francisco, November. And it was during the 3 days where we also have a feast, and Thanksgiving. But on this occasion, we had a special honoring for Wounded Knee by Luta Candelaria, the young MC who was helping us host, AIM West hosting this. And at that setting, he was honored and recognized. And the video itself was produced, directed, on the spot shoot by Perry Matlock, a good friend of ours, longtime friend of American Indian movement, longtime supporter for Leonard Peltier. In fact, he has an original painting by Leonard Peltier. As you may know or recall, that Leonard Peltier was in prison for nearly 50 years. February 18th, he was released from federal penitentiary in Orlando, Florida, for a crime he did not commit, mind you, having received a clemency by President Joe Biden. This was one of his last acts as president on January the 19th, that he signed for house arrest or home incarceration, because he's still limited to where he is at home. And that's in Belcourt on the Turtle Mountain Reservation in North Dakota. And with that, my relatives, Perry Matlock was able to shoot this video that we hope that will be seen. I hope you do enjoy it. And my relatives also, I have some photos there here to show you of Leonard Peltier, just recently visited by our good friend Agnes Patak. She's a radio host up north in Humboldt at Radio KMUD, KMUD, public radio, that is. So you might want to tune in on that. But as you see by the photos, how Leonard looks healthy and a lot of optimism in his face. Well, you be the judge by how well he is looking now, my relatives. So, and with that, I also wanted to say that next week, which would be Sunday, August the 10th, I have a very special video on the life of Dr. Jose Cuellar. And this was In the Family, is called. A video interviewed by the poet, Chicana poet, Dr. Quinones, I believe. Yes, Naomi, I'm sorry, Dr. Naomi Quinones, the poet, interviewing Dr. Jose Cuellar on his life experiences up to the present. So I hope you enjoy that. And finally, my relatives, we're under a lot of censorship, a lot of scrutiny by this 47th administration, and cutting off of funding for radio, media, communication, important sources of information for us to gather critical information for critical thinking, the analysis and critical thinking for us to take action, much similar to this TV show that I try to project to you. And so I encourage you to listen to the public radio shows, like you watch public TV and public radio in San Francisco, KPOO, that's 89.5 FM. And on Wednesdays, the last 3 Wednesdays of the month, you would hear a Native Web Works by the host, Mary Jean Robertson. And in Berkeley, you have KPFA, that's 94.1 FM. And on Wednesdays, we have a rotating team for Bay Native Circle. I'm one of the hosts, along with Janine Antoine, Eddie Madrill, Morning Star Gali, including Frank Sterling. So all of us take part in that radio programming. Bay Native Circle, kpfa.org if you're away from the being able to receive that. So with that, my relatives, I hope you are also planning for this August for the Chicano, Mexicano community, particularly in the Southwest, the Chicano Moratorium, August 29, 1970 is celebrated every year, commemorated. So I hope you're doing so in your communities. And that we remember some of the martyrs of that day when the police invaded a gathering of over 20,000 Chicanos, Mexican Americans, who were protesting the war in Vietnam in 1970, mind you. The disproportionate number of Chicanos that were being killed there in the Vietnam War, the casualties percentage was very high. The disproportionate number of Mexican Americans, Chicanos in prisons, the lack of education, all this was acknowledged on that day. And there was a brutal attack by the LA police. And among those killed was a well-known journalist in the Mexican Chicano community. That's Ruben Salazar, a great loss. He was a journalist for the LA Times, and he was shot in the back of the head in this bar, the Silver Dollar Bar in LA. So we commemorate that occasion. And so I hope you prepare for that as well. All right, so be sure to see the website that I also help coordinate. That's with AIM West at aim-west.org. And that's where I archive all the Bay Native Circle radio shows Wednesdays, and also the TV programs like Eagle and Condor that you're watching now. So, all right. So tell your friends, enjoy this video in honor and tribute to Wounded Knee DeOcampo, and of course condolences to the family and his wife Linda, a great friend of all of ours. Thank you.
Again, I'd like to give a big thank you to my uncle Wounded Knee DeOcampo here. Thank you very much. Insisto, kain karat pakarat kilsits, kambasis awene, emetest, kaha rumsin alongi. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Vichak Diluda, Red Star Candelaria, and Rumsin Aloni, and Apache. And I've been asked to kind of host this today to kind of give honoring and acknowledgement to my uncle in the house. You know, so these people got me really excited here. I got my bros here. Some of us are Ruts and Alonis. We're going to share some songs right now. We're going to open it up. And how we do it in our tribe is we call to our ancestors. We call to the west, to the ocean, and we ask them to come and be with us at our events and our ceremonies, to come share in this ceremony. Whenever we're sharing this medicine, these songs, these dances, these words, it becomes a ceremony. And so we ask our ancestors to come here and be a part of that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to offer up 4 quick songs here to call upon them, to come and be with them and acknowledge them, to be here with us. So I'm going to ask my relatives to come up here real quickly.
Ricardo, Micho.
All right, we'd like to thank each and every one of you again for acknowledging our ancestors, allowing them to come here and be a part of the ceremony with us this morning today, and this honoring and the ceremony of feasting and words and songs and dances. Again, my name is Wichaki Luta, Red Star, Candelaria. I go by Luta, Rumson Alone, Apache. And so what we want to do now is, earlier my uncle Wounded Knee was talking about the longest walk. And we have some individuals here in the audience that actually partook in some of the longest walks. And what we want to do right now is invite those relatives to come up. And we want to acknowledge them. And we want to acknowledge what they've done, whether they're young or old. So what we want to do right now is acknowledge them, acknowledge their sacrifices and their struggles, and hear some of their stories. So what we're going to do is we're going to sing an honor song on this drum to honor these individuals, these relatives, for being a part of this sacred ceremony of the longest walk. And we're going to honor them with the aim song, which is a song that represents the strength and the movement. So we're going to honor them with this song. And we ask everybody to join in the singing. We ask some people to come around the drum and partake and honor our relatives. And afterward, we'd like to hear a couple words from these individuals about their experience and what they took away from that ceremonies.
Ogallala territory in so-called South Dakota. I came here, it's my first time coming to the Alcatraz event, and I always wanted to because my father, Angel Martinez, he was here before he went to the occupation of Wounded Knee, and that's where he met my mother. So I'm really grateful and honored to be here today. And I remember the longest walk. I was 8 years old. But I remember it very well because it was one of the times in my lifetime where I saw a lot of solidarity among nations and tribes and even races. And I'm just glad to be here today to represent my nations, the Oglala, Losata, and the Atam. And it's always good to make allies. So again, I'm grateful to be here today. And everywhere I go, I seem to find the fighting warrior spirit of the American Indian movement. So I'm very grateful and very honored. What do I?
Well, my name is Nathan, and I was born in a Pine Ridge reservation, but not in the hospital. I was born out there, someplace that's all I know. And then taken to, with the rest of the children, I guess, back in the 60s, to Oklahoma, but I was dropped off and raised by my grandmother's second cousin, the Omahas. That's where I was born and raised, right in that area. But growing up in '78, I heard about this movement in California, and I was graduating. And I just heard it on television and said, "Hey man, check it out, look at this bunch of Indians." And looking and come to school, stuff like this, when his cousin's talking. And the aunt comes busting in there that afternoon saying, "Where's all the cousins? Where's all the guys at? How you guys are gonna stay here? You're gonna graduate high school. We're gonna go find out what's going on." I brought that t-shirt from Oklahoma. It's like, I wore that t-shirt out. So anyway, as I grew up, I kept thinking about it and what's going on and trying to work out here in this area, our land. I came to California and I got hooked up with the Indian Center. And ever since then, it's like I've just been going and learning. I want to thank Fred Short, and Dennis, and another gentleman he got me into the songs. He's not here right now. Dennis, somebody, and went back to Oklahoma. And Morningstar Galley, I want to thank her and all of my elders, for having the time and patience to teach us and pass this medicine on to our youth. So I want to thank everybody and Wounded, congratulations. Oh.
Good morning. I was on the second walk, and what I was able to witness was the devastation of what happened with our ancestors offering their tribal lands, and the alcoholism, and the drugs. And our young men, and our men in the warrior contingents, for worship. And what I noticed on the walk is that in Oklahoma, they targeted small reservations, Ponca Nation, to put in nuclear waste dumps in that area. And they only had 29 acres left. And when we got to Washington, D.C., we talked to empty chairs. The only one that came up was Ben Nighthorse. And the rest of the chairs, they had all labels on them and they were empty. And that was like the government not allowing the thing going on with that walk in the newspapers or in the media. And what I did, what I understood is that when I came back home, there was an empty spot in that chair of relatives representing our California people. And so at that time, understanding the devastation of all of those boarding schools and the things that happened and the effects, and so I took that chair as a Miwok Indian, because there was very few out there in that world. They were all in prisons. A lot of the reservations that we went to, I was like, all the men were in prisons, and it was really something to see that And so what I did was I took that chair, that spot. The first walk, I was in my addiction, so I was probably in a bar, honky tonkin', insulting. But when I put the plug in the jug, you know, and started getting responsible for an Indian man, and then that's where I began to make my journey, you know, in Indian country. I hope.
Let's go with what's to that.
My name is Junebug. I'm Miwok from Wilton Rancheria down in Sacramento, and I was on the longest walk too. And there was a lot of lessons learned, good and bad. I made it all the way to Denver, Colorado. I started out here in San Francisco with them and everything, and went over to DQ. I found a bald eagle on the way over there out in Utah, and I came back with that and gonna be dancing and send them boat.
Madonna Thunderhawk. So I grew up in the movement. I was on the longest walk in 1978. But the We Will Remember Survival Group from Porcupine, South Dakota. Thank you.
All right, so as we begin to welcome our California Indian relatives that is be coming up soon, I want to remind each and every one of you, the way that we do things around here is when we acknowledge the things that we enjoy, when we want to acknowledge and give thanks or let a person know that we appreciate what they're doing. Instead of clapping, what we do is we say, oh, as loud as we can. So what we want to do, dang, we haven't been very successful, I guess. So let's hear that again. How about one more time and let's say it like you mean it. All right, that's what we want to hear when these dancers come out. You know, that's the kind of love we want to give them. So my uncle Woody came up earlier and spoke, and I just want to kind of again acknowledge him and you know, talk about. I remember one time he invited me to the sweat lodge. You know, he's like, hey, Luther, come out to this lodge. You know, I'm like, I might be a little late. You know. He's like, nah, just come out, we'll be there. So, you know, I showed up and it was late, it was dark. You know, people were in the lodge and I could hear them singing and they were really loud and I was like, oh man, they already went in, you know. And it sounded like a good one. There was all kinds of hooping and hollering, everybody was getting in there real good, you know. I'm like, dang, a good one, huh? And all of a sudden I just see the door fling open and a body comes running out, you know, and steam coming off of them, they fall on the floor. I'm like, man, who's that, you know? So I walked over there, it was my uncle Wounded. So I was like, Uncle Wounded, you know, like, are you okay? And Luther, foot, you know. And I was like, yeah, Uncle, you know, is everything okay? It's like, oh, there's a hot one in there, you know. And I was like, yeah, it looks like it. And he's like, Luther, do you think they'll let me back in there? He said, well, I don't know. Why don't you ask the sweat lodge leader? And he says, I am the sweat lodge leader.
That direction, the spiritual direction, learn those songs and those prayers, and it's important to carry on the struggle. As I mentioned, we lost a great leader, American Indian Wounded leader, Russell Means, and I know, I'm sure he would say the same thing, that I can't depend on him. He's gone, but we honor his memory and all the good, great work that he did and what he stood for and that he spoke. So we need to carry on that struggle that way. And my deepest condolences to the family, relatives, and also to the Lakota people for their loss here. We grieve with you and we have sorrow with you on that. I myself rode with Russell Means at the battle, the Wounded Knee. I rode right alongside him to battle. He was a great warrior, so I feel a lot of grief over that. I just want to extend my condolences to all of you, the relatives, the Lakota people, and the immediate family of so many. Today, I'd just like to share a little bit of my experience. First of all, I'm going to sit down. Thank you. In 1972, that summer, many of us were attending the Sundance at Crow Dog's Paradise. And after that Sundance, there was a big meeting held by Russell Means, Ted Means, Bill Means. I think Madonna was there, Lorelei, Dennis Banks, Clyde Balcourt, Brendan Balcourt. They had some discussion, what are we going to do with this election coming up? And some discussion about how we could they decided to put together a caravan to go across the country from 3 parts of the West Coast. One caravan would leave from Seattle, which would be led by Russell Means and Hank Adams. Then Dennis Banks was leading the caravan from San Francisco in the Bay Area. And they would go across the middle of the country, and across Nevada, into Colorado, Sand Creek. And then the southern route was Brendan Balcourt. He started from Los Angeles and came across southern California to Arizona. He came to Gallup, New Mexico. That's where myself, Mike Shaw, Ed Molina, Larry Casus, Agna Kaidane, Lenny Foster, Billy Jack War Soldier, John Cutness, people like that joined the caravan. We went from Gallup to Albuquerque. Met with the students at the Fever Club, University of New Mexico, and continued on into Oklahoma. We met in Lawrence, Kansas, and proceeded on to Topeka, Kansas, where the central route people led by Dennis Banks met. We converged on Topeka, Kansas state capital. The head of the billy club opened a big gash on his head. So when we saw that, we immediately jumped to his defense and started throwing chairs and pushed those buffalo soldiers back out the door, and they ran back across the street. The American Indian was a warrior society, so we defended our peoples who were under attack. So for the next 10 days, we occupied that building. Negotiations were going on. In the meantime, those papers, opposition papers, were presented. But again, the government officials, Nixon was being elected, and they chose to ignore the seriousness of why we were there. And that proceeded to open the doors to new activism, confrontational politics, they would call it, where we would actually confront the government forces. And J. Edgar Hoover and his FBI, they started their COINTELPRO, open to a new tactic. And they decided first if they could arrest the medicine man, the spiritual leaders, the holy people, then they would stop the movement. But they were wrong, because all of the Indian people, ever since they're small, were given an Indian name. With our people, we blessed that cradle board, put corn polish in their mouths, and say a prayer for them. That makes them a spiritual warrior, the day they were born. I'm sure that custom was the same with many other tribes. We share that, we learn from one another. And maybe that's what the government's scared of. We can't break that spirit, they're always trying to break our will, they're trying to break our spirit. They're doing that to limit healthcare by keeping them confined 23 hours a day, keep them isolated. Don't allow him to make these phone calls, and go through his letters, and want to break his spirit, break his will. So he's strong for us, so we need to be strong for him. So I want to thank all of you. Honest ones, if you do need doctors, 这就是把一种给你呢，还给的把上头说可凶噻，你可缺一点钱，可缺一下的，下的下的上也要那啥，是到我们在那啥，不到的也是上那些那那啥。Actual good hot sweat. Somebody mentioned that Wounded Knee DeOcampo loves hot sweat. He's always looking for a hot sweat. I'm just saying that Leonard likes a hot sweat too, you know. You know, you hang in there with him. And it makes him feel good. It makes me feel good. It makes our Indian people feel good when you have an accomplishment, achievement. You go through the ceremony, you pray, you make your prayers. And the Great Spirit, the Creator, will take those prayers and turn it into a blessing. See what out. The yacht, Johnny said, Copan Shah, I should have first noted. Because she called it was a one station. She came to find the station later. Over by Jochana, the way. Going out of the station. Causing the other night is starting. Jana is the other another things not this either. So we know that you have my love, my support, my solidarity. Pray with him. He's that pipe. So it might seem like a small act, but it's very gift, very blessing. Keeps it strong until the next time I see it. So I just want to say that I've been doing this work for 30 years now, 30 years. Lenny Foster used to tell me there's no retirement in the movement. Can't retire, you know, we don't have no retirement plan. He used to say that to me. And I keep telling Jimbo, I'm going to retire this 2013. So you can't retire, there's no retirement in the game. What are you talking about? The rest of your life. You know, I remember the first time we were going to engage in battle. The Wounded Knee, we all lined up, all those warriors that wanted to participate, that took up arms, and Crodon gave us paint, red paint, on the cheeks. And he said, you can wash that off, but you accept this, you make this vows for the rest of your life. You make that commitment. And you can wash off the red paint, but the Great Spirit recognizes you right now, you put that paint on your cheek. It's for the rest of your life. Always remember that. Always remember that.
Thank you, Uncle. Speaking about the songs, as he was mentioning about learning the songs, I've had a great opportunity to be exposed to a lot of different tribes, and in particular, just the native people of the mountain. And they shared this song with me that I felt was an appropriate moment to sing the song for my uncle here, as he tells us to remember to sing those songs. This song is a remembrance song for your grandmas and the grandpas. And it's in the Dene language, and this is to acknowledge our elders and what they teach us. So I'm going to sing this song in honor of my uncle Lenny Foster here. that. That is why I'll always remember you. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you. Oh.
I'd like to say this too. If you ladies want to get up and dance on the side, you're more than welcome. You men too, if you want. In the roundhouses, everybody dances. Nobody sits around. This is what the Spirit wants to move everybody. And be ready. Oh. Right, big mic, right now. Because we have a lot of girl singers, all my daughters sing. And they all got jobs. Very important for all you Indians. You know, you guys have all different ways of doing stuff. And this is just one of our ways. It's just a touch. And even when you go to our sacred roundhouses, this is when you're really going to get the spiritual stuff, because it's all spiritual stuff down in there. All praying all night, 4 nights straight without stopping. So this is the way we operate in our reservations. Oh. When we always finish up
the dances, we go through this one little ceremony that we have to do. We gotta end it for our protections, watches. Oh. Thank you very much, and we're going to close it in this prayer. This is a very...
They rape the little girls, they rape the women, they kill the little boys, and he said, Hafiz and Shook, these were two guys that got together and they organized a little party to get rid of these guys. I call it an execution. When you rape little girls and when you kill little kids, you should be executed. You don't belong here on the earth when you do that. And so that's what the Indians did to these two guys. And well, the soldiers, they wanted to come over and kill all the Indians anyway and take the land, so this was an open door for them. And so they came over, over 100 soldiers came over, Captain Lyons, and they attacked my village, the Shikam, the Denoga. And over 400 people were there. And the men were hunting, the women and children and the old people were on Badon Napati and gathering tulis, gathering fish, gathering the medicines. And these soldiers came just to retaliate. They didn't care who they were just going to teach our people, the Pomo, a lesson. 10,000 Indians, Pomos, were in Lake County, 500 were left by the time America got through with us, teaching us a lesson. Out of the 30,000 Pomo idea, there's only 500 left out of the four counties. So that was our history here in America, and when I went to public school, they made me put my hand over my heart and say, I pledge my allegiance to your flag of the United States of America. They made me do that. They made me feel proud of this red, white, and blue that murdered, lied, and cheated their way through building the country, they said. And so all through these years, I wanted revenge, because that's what they teach you in public schools is revenge. America teaches you revenge. If somebody messes with you, you go after them, you kill them, you pay them back. Well, I heard about this story all my life through the family. And if we got it going, and
Yeah, they're beasts.
I'm gonna share just briefly about the border issue. And I asked my relatives here to come out. But I want to show you just a really quick video, if I can.
with him man to man as a young man. The relationship between my family and him goes back many years. But to be able to know my elder, my uncle, to be able to be in his presence. I know he mentioned earlier that there were many other people that could be honored, and that's true. But today is for him and all the things that he has done. So we want to honor Wounded and his family and the sacrifice that not only himself has made, but the family that's affected by the life that he has chosen to live. So we not only honor our Uncle Wounded here, we're honoring his family and those who also made that sacrifice. Because those of us who grew up in the movement or have relatives or families, we know that it's a sacrifice. Many times we go without to give to the people first, and Wounded is a prime example of that philosophy. And afterwards, we'd like for you to share some of your words with the relatives here. So thank you, Wounded.
Take it.
So while we sing this song, we'd like to invite all of you relatives to come up and shake my Uncle Wounded's hand. Opportunity to give Wounded and his wife the microphone, and we're going to go ahead and start with Linda Foot first. Linda Foot first.
First, I'd like to thank everybody for doing this for my husband, and you. Dennis Banks spent a couple of days with us this about a week ago before he went to Japan, and he knew that Wounded was going to come and be honored here this evening, and he gave me this blanket. Excuse me. That I'd like to present to you.
Thank you. Yep. Oh, sure. Double. He's there. What? He smells so. What? Spray jump off that it's dead. It's training the nipples of wing and shoulder. Okay.
Mopping. You know, many years, my mother, she's in the spirit world.
No, it's for what?
She taught me, my son, always fight for your people.
I say,
Give what you can to them,
then say so.
because it's been a hard struggle for our people. Especially when you know the history of the genocide,
For what?
the land taken from us.
Dublin.
And that's why I continue to fight for our people.
What did?
If it wasn't for my sisters,
Yeah.
Bobby D, Maggie, and Bea, who spent many years working for Indian people. I wish they were here, but I know they're in a special place.
Go, guys.
They're with their grandmothers and grandfathers.
I know that.
And I just want to thank them because I know one day I'll be joining them. And there's many people that I've met many years that I would like to thank. But there's so much time because I know you want to eat, you're hungry. So am I. But I just want to thank you. But never forget the struggle of our people.
Yeah. So.
And we must continue to battle and fight